Hello and welcome to my garden and the dinosaurs who live there. It is Saturday the 29th of August, so it's about time I did my August garden tours. And I think I'll do this month like I did in July, and that is to split my tour over several chunks so that none of them are overly long and you don't get bored before the end of them. So it's a lovely morning here in the west of Scotland, so let's have a look around the garden. So in this first video I'm going to concentrate on the deck outside the house and the sort of surrounding area of that deck and show you what's happening here. The girls are out helping me. Hello. Right, so in this first corner just outside the kitchen door we have a tomato. I can't remember what variety this is. It was a grafted tomato. You'll see that there's a bit of a runner happening there, but it's doing well considering it's outside and we've not had the most tremendous weather. Actually, I'm going to stop it. I'm just going to break off the growing tip there because there's no point in it growing anymore. What we want is for these nice tomatoes to ripen. And they're looking quite nice. Last year the outdoor tomatoes got blight before I had too much of a harvest, but this is it's hanging on in there, so yeah, here's hoping. Okay, looking on top of the poor quail hutch, which has now become an area that I can keep plants. I have this estrantia that hasn't got a home at the moment, but it is starting to flower, and it is called Estrantia Hadspin Blood. Estrantias tend to go quite well in my garden. I think probably the soil it likes, although this is in a pot, so it doesn't really matter, and the general sort of temperatures and wetness. So yes, I will find a home for that at some point, but I'll just leave it to flower here at the moment. It's the waifs and strays that tend to be up on top of this. And here's another waif. It is a cabbage. This is a Dutchman. I've got some of my cabbages planted in a bed now. You can see this is had a bit of slug damage there, but it's actually looking quite healthy, so I'll need to find either a large pot or a space in a bed for this one. And this is just a bit of a spare pot, and this has got some a sort of mixed radish in there. This needs to get tied up. This is a cyclamen that should be up there, so I'll tie that up shortly. And then what else do we have here? So we've got this hosta, which is called blue mouse ears, a little bit eaten. These hostas are mine from, I sowed hosta seeds last year, and these are some of the plants. I've got a number of them around. These are some of the plants that I have grown, which is exciting. Then we've got a ranunculus there that looks a bit out the way. Looks a wee bit powdery mildewed. So I'll maybe give that a spray with a milk solution. And we've got some more ranunculus over here. Is that ranunculus? Yes, I think it is. So that one's flowering. So sort of a clutch of them. This is the first year that I've grown them in these pots, so we'll see how they do. This is a purple sage, and I want to put this in a big pot next to some of the other herbs that I have further down the garden. I'll maybe do that this weekend. And then we've got a couple of beetroots. And these beetroots I'm growing as part of a little container gardening experiment. I did have 3 pots, a sort of largish pot, medium-sized pot, and you're going to guess what's coming next, a small pot, but the small pot got eaten. And the idea is just to see how well they grow in the pots, and whether the size of pot determines what you get at the end. So they're doing okay. I also am doing the same experiment with turnips, and you can see the turnips here. A sort of small sweet ball, I think it's called. And you can see I've got a little turnip there, and this is in the largest pot. I've got turnip forming, and that's in the small pot. The medium-sized pot isn't doing anything, but I think that could just be down to the plant itself. Maybe that wasn't such a good seedling as the other ones. But at the moment they were all sown and potted on at the same time. So you can see that the large pot seems to be doing much better, or sort of it's growing faster anyway. Although this one looks as if it's doing okay. That one will probably catch up. But for speed, it looks like this large one is doing fine. And actually I'm not going to let it grow much larger than that, and that will be a nice sweet little turnip. Obviously not huge vast quantities, but if you're trying to grow on just a window ledge or on a balcony or whatever, it's nice to know what you can grow in pots. And you could sort of successionally sow and have a little steady stream of turnips if you so desired. So what else is up on this part of the deck? There's another hosta there. I think that's another blue mouse ears. Yep. And then we have a parsley plant, which is, located very conveniently for the kitchen because I use parsley quite a lot. And then a couple of strawberries that gave me nice strawberries this year, and I'll think about maybe putting them somewhere else next year, into the ground or into larger pots. And then looking down here, we have a chives plant. Now this I bought in a a sort of, I think, 6-pack of herbs to get me started with some herbs, and this was one of them. So I really want to put this into something bigger. It's in a fairly large pot, but I want to put it in something larger, or maybe put it in one of my raised my vegetable trugs. And here are some more of my little hostas. So, I mean, hostas I found really quite hard to germinate, but now that I have them, they'll come back year on year and get larger and larger. None of them are spectacularly coloured, but we'll see as they get a bit older. We might see a bit more distinction, maybe some more slight variation in the colours on the leaves. The thing with hostas is that you don't get what the parent plant is. It doesn't come true. You just get a sort of random colouring. So it's quite exciting because you don't know what you're going to see. Here's some grasses that I swap in and out of the quail, who are down here. Where are they? Hello, quailies. And this is, I have a selection that I swap in and out because the quail sort of munch on them, and I want them to get watered, etc. out here. So they're just popped on the roof of the run there, and they can get swapped in and out for the quail. And here's some starts. This is some more turnip that I will find a home for. And looky here, I found the other beetroot. So that's actually the large pot. Right, let's go back over here then. So large pot with a weed, and then we've got a medium pot and a small pot. So I've got my 3 beetroot. Oh, that's good. It is bedlam here, as you can tell. Let's just move that there and move that there, and then we'll put the beetroot together so that I don't lose track of them again. That's better. The beetroots aren't anywhere near giving me roots yet. The turnip are much faster growing. The beetroot do take quite a long time. And back up here we have another hosta. This one's called Fire and Ice. And you can see it's quite nice, and you can see also I need to weed that pot, but that won't take a minute because you just need to lift this stuff out. It is nice and simple to weed. So So we'll do that. There we go. Now can you see why I'm splitting this off into different chunks? That's me only done one corner of the deck, and there's still the rest of the deck to go. It's all a bit mad out here. So let me turn you around and we can have a look at the veg trug that's just sitting outside the kitchen door. So it's probably changed quite a lot since the last time that I videoed. What we now have are a series of beetroot, and this beetroot is called Betolo. And then we have another beetroot that is called Pablo. That's Pablo there, so this is Pablo. A couple of little random leeks, because I sort of ran out of space, and I thought I'd just plonk them in there. I know, a bit random, but hey ho. Then we've got some lettuce. This is called Lakeland, this lettuce. And then at the back here, some mixed radish. Yeah, so it's looking okay, just letting it grow on. It does fine until Colin comes up and sleeps on it. In fact, back here I did sow a little clutch of spring onions, but there's only sort of one come through there, and actually Colin's been lying on it, so I doubt we'll get much more, but that's fine. Can't help it. So yeah, I have to say I do still love this veg trug Liberty it's called, and it is quite nice looking. It's quite funky. Just pop onto the window ledge here. Here's some more of my hostas. They're sort of going over a little bit, I think, but you can see some of them are a little bit lighter in colour than others, so that's quite nice. And then another area of mishmash that needs to go somewhere else. Some more hostas here. Now some of these I've bought, as you can see. They're not exactly cheap, some of them. That's why it's good to grow your own. This is frosted mini hearts. Hostas aren't at their best at this time of year because they're just starting to lose the will. And this is funny bones. Again, needs to do a little bit of weeding there. This one is called, oh, this is Marilyn Monroe. Woohoo! A little bit wavy in the leaves there, so that's going to be nice next year, I think. Here's some more of mine. And here's some more Lakeland lettuce that needs to go in. Looks a bit dry as well. And here's here's a thyme plant that didn't make it. I should have given it to the quail more quickly. And this is a monkey puzzle tree, which I think maybe I've killed. I bought this just as a little start, and yeah, it's not looking great now, is it? It's not looking very healthy. Darn. Hey, I wasn't going to see it as a tree in my lifetime, that's for sure, but it was fun trying to grow it. And then moving on to Tom and my anniversary box. The flowers here are starting to go over a little bit. The hostas here are getting nibbled. Well, you see they did flower. And then we've got some snapdragons still right at the back. So the snapdragons and these flowers will come out. The hostas stay in, and I just put other things around it, different things around it each year. Okay, so then we've got this to look at. So here we have some turnip. I can't remember which variety this is. I think it's sweet ball. I think there's a label further along. So yeah, so this is another veg trug. I've got quite a number of sort of veg trugs on the deck. So we'll get some nice purple topped turnip there before long, I think. And then we've got some herbs. Here's some Greek oregano. This I grew from seed. These ones I didn't. So this is a hot and spicy oregano, which is nice. Then we've got a tarragon and a thyme. And then the other two troughs along here are strawberries. And if I just step back, we've got some marigolds. And then we have some, oh sorry, sunlight directly into camera. We've got some rudbeckia, and I grow these rudbeckia for cutting. They're great. They last ages in vases, I have to say. So there's a Rebecca there, and if I just get you away from the sunshine, can you see? There's more Rebecca here. And these are for cutting, as I say. This is a, oh sorry, sunshine, go away. No, don't go away. This is a sunflower, little sunflower, that will be flowering soon. It's in a teeny tiny pot, so I've not really done it justice, but we'll get a little flower from it. Here is, these are orange peppers. Now, there's too many in the pot, but I just wanted to get them in somewhere. And I didn't think I would get anything, but look at this. Can you see? Looky here. I can't really move it, I don't want to break it. There it is. See? We've got a nice... There's 2 peppers there. They're not orange yet. There's another pepper in there. And there's another couple down. Oh, 3. Although that one's eaten. Oh, 4 in fact. Probably should have taken some of these off. There's a little hole in that one, I think. So, yeah, we've got peppers. I'll see how long I can get them to keep growing, and I may just take them off before I lose them. But I have done nothing, absolutely nothing to this. So I'll say, you know, it's an experiment to see how little I can do. But I just didn't do anything with them because I didn't think they were going to thrive. But we've got some peppers. There's some radish here, my anti-chicken eating device. You can see the chickens did get some at the front. Little radish starting, just starting in there. This is a sort of mixed bag, so I'll get different colours, or 2 or 3 anyway. And then we have another trough that's got some herbs in. There's some lemon sorrel at the back, and then we've got some lemon thyme and some lemon balm. And then just a couple more of the Lakeland lettuce at the side there. And then, sorry, I'm keeping you down low because the sun's right in front of us. And then we've got some more Lakeland lettuce here in this little trug, and some parsley that's gone to seed. Very pretty though, isn't it? I've just left it to do its stuff. And that brings us round to the table. So on the table we have a rather collapsed but still producing tomato. This is called Red Robin. You can see there's some spider's webs there. But look at all the tomatoes. Oh, there's one that's a bit mashed there. It collapsed actually from the weight of the tomatoes. I think it's really heavy. So I'm going to just see if I can prop it up a little bit, but I'll probably I'll just harvest these green and see if I can ripen them indoors. And then I've got some geraniums that I sowed from seed this year. Teeny tiny. I'll need to overwinter them indoors and see if we can get nice geraniums next year. And then we've got some other plants that I sowed from seed. This is Lychnis floss cuculi. I don't know what that actually amounts to in its sort of common name. They're flowers, they're perennials, and they'll flower next year hopefully. And there's another batch of those. And then I've got some echinacea that I bought. There's one, here's another one, and then I have some along there. You can see the names there, Sunrise, and there's another name that I can't read because I'm blind. J.S. Engelts, I think. Oh, I'm not even looking at it. Sorry about the noise, it's bin day today, so the bin men are out. Then we've got some little succulents in a couple of pots, and then a basin, good old kitchen basin, with some more radish in. And this is radish mix. Sorry, because of the sun, I'm not even sure I'm pointing the camera in the right direction. Whoops. Then we've got some strawberries. There's a nice strawberry there, and this one actually is a runner that I just that I rooted this year. This is the remains of my celery, and this lot went to seed, so I'm just leaving it for now. The rest I've harvested and I made into soups and put into sauces and such like. And then along the back there we have In fact, let me just go round and we can have a look at that. Oh, actually, I'll go round there in a second. But while I'm still on the deck and looking around here, we have more Rudbeckia for cutting. And then we have a collection of sunflowers, which are beaten up. The taller they are, the worse they look in the weather. I've had 3 lovely sunflowers. You can see the heads there are bowed now. There's one there. But it's multi-headed, so we've got another head forming there and there. And there's some others as well. And there's other, in this pot, there's some other sunflowers. So here's a little one, which is quite pretty. And there's another head from the main one. The Rudbeckia's invading it. This is a separate sunflower, this one. So it's going to flower shortly as well. So a bit of a collection of sunflowers, as I say, got a bit beaten up with the high winds that we had recently, which is a shame. The Rudbeckia is doing fine though, even though it got blown over several times. And then down here, oh, I'll need to get rid of this now. It's all powdery mildewy. This was a little, I think it was Big Smile it was called, this sunflower, which obviously is done. Oh no, look at this. I didn't notice this when it was in full flower. Look, 2 sunflower heads on the same sunflower. That's quite uncommon, I think. I have seen it before. I think Alan at Don Core's plot had that in a big sunflower last year. But this is a little dinky sunflower. Look at that. 2 heads. Oh, twins. But it's finished now. Look at the powdery mildew on that and the moth-eaten leaves. Sorry, sunflower. Yeah, so that's the sunflower corner. I'm just going to go around to the other side of the deck. Oh, actually, there's more. Here we've got some nasturtium, and we have had a few other flowers in there. That was just a collection of flowers. And then there's another sage there. Ignore everything here. And here are the turnips. What kind are they? Snowball? I don't think they're snowball, they're purple. So probably mislabelled. So there's some turnip there. I do like the turnips. And there are some radishes in here, although that's not looking very good. Sorry, can you see that? No radish really to talk of. In case you're wondering, this is there to stop the squirrels digging when I first sowed the seeds. If I just step back then, I'm still around the deck. Oh, did you hear that crunch? Oh, it was a leaf. I thought it was a snail. A hanging basket. That is nice and bright. Onions, let's not look at those, they were rubbish. Some gladioli that will flower. They're just looking a bit straggly at the minute, and they're in fairly small pots. But these were from last year. In fact, here's a flower spike here. So they will flower. And then we have a Dutchman cabbage, and it's sitting there in a hanging basket in a pot to keep it away from slugs and to keep it away from chickens. Of course, it's open to cabbage white butterfly landing on it, but I don't think I've seen practically none, and I can just keep an eye. I don't think we're going to get anything like that now. Okay, which direction? Let's just. I'm still at the edge of the patio, the deck. Sorry. We've got this grow house which has some peppers in, some sweet peppers, and you can see that. I hope you can see we've got quite a few. We've got quite a few in this plant anyway. These are just sort of general mixed sweet peppers, I think. Let's see. Here's the label. Oh no, it's King of the North. These are King of the North. There we go. So they're looking quite nice actually. And, oh, sorry, I nudged the camera. Here's a little dinky one there. Have we got any more on that plant? Maybe not. Oh no, here's a couple. And here's another, now look at this. Yuck. Can you see that? Something has made a home in there, or certainly been munching on it. I think that's probably all we have on that one. And then we have a little pepper plant, King of the North there, but it's a bit behind, so it's not really going to do anything. This little begonia there. And some cabbage. This is greyhound that I sowed, and this is them just potted on. And I'll grow them up a little bit more and pop them somewhere. Where, I don't know. And then some more beetroot, bolt hardy there, that I've still got to find space for. And if I swing you round, again at the edge of the deck, here's another tomato. Which one is this? Reaches down. This is Gardener's Delight. So we've got tomatoes. It's collapsed a bit at the top because of the winds, and I haven't really untangled it. So yeah, so we've got some Gardener's Delight there. We had a lovely batch of green beans from this plant, but it's done now. There's the odd wee green bean left, but I'll just finish up with those now. And then over in this grow house, what have I got? I've got some spring onions. I don't know whether I'll get them before the end of the year. Oh, wee spider. Oh, see it? Just there. What else to talk about? Cabbage April looks as if it's been eaten a bit. And that's sort of it. It's all a bit sort of just done now, that the stuff in there. Yeah, so is that us? What else is attached to the deck? Let's just scoot through here. Scoot down here. And my black currants gave me a little selection of black currants, and it's now eaten to kingdom come. Look at that. What's doing that? Can anyone tell me? Yeah, so it's done for the year. I'll need to work out how to prune it and care for it, and maybe we'll get a bigger batch of black currants next year. Here I am still getting a few sweet peas, but they're coming to the end, and I'm just really, I'll collect a couple more, but I'm wanting to get some seed off this. This is Hilda's mix. And down at the bottom I've just popped in some sweet williams to just grow on, because they're pretty and smell nice. And then we have this courgette that I thought was a climbing courgette, which definitely isn't a climbing courgette, and it's taken over the whole joint. Look at the state of this. And I haven't had one courgette off it yet. There's a few in there, but it's monstrous. And I know courgettes are monstrous, but I expected this one to be able to grow up there rather than to take over the whole place here. And finally, I can't stop this video without showing you this. This is, I'm sure it was some sort of giant-headed hydrangea, and I've had it in a pot, a small pot. Where's the pot? There, so it's not that large a pot. For a few years, and haven't really tended it. I think I fed it this year. And look at this, my hand, hydrangea. It is huge, and that's not the only huge head it's given me. It's given me lots. There's a load of them there, but they're just sort of going over. I can't get by it. Courgette. There's another one, just about finishing. But this is the latest one. Isn't that amazing? Let's do this. Me and my giant hydrangea. So, I think I'll call a halt there. And that was a tour of the deck. Just a part of the garden. I know I've droned on. Oh my god, I think I'm at 20 minutes now. I will see if I can cut that down in the edit. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour and the bedlam that is my gardening and my garden. If you have enjoyed this, please give me a thumbs up. and stay tuned, because very shortly I'll be popping up a video of another part of the garden in my series of garden tours for August. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.